AWS Bedrock versus OpenAI. This is not just a model comparison, it is a platform decision. If your team is already deep inside AWS, Bedrock can feel like the natural path because identity, networking, logging, billing, and compliance all stay in one cloud control plane. If your team wants the fastest access to frontier models, clean developer experience, and a broad ecosystem, OpenAI is usually the shortest path from idea to working product. In this video, I will give you a practical decision framework, not brand loyalty. By the end, you should know which one to use for a prototype, which one to use for production, and when using both is actually the smartest move.
Start with the mental model. Amazon Bedrock is a managed gateway to foundation models from multiple providers, wrapped in AWS controls. You can use Anthropic Claude, Meta Llama, Amazon Nova, Cohere, Mistral, Stability, and other models depending on region and availability. The main selling point is not just model access, it is the AWS operating wrapper around that access. OpenAI is different. It is a first-party AI platform built around OpenAI models and tools, text generation, vision, speech, embeddings, real-time interactions, structured outputs, and assistant-style workflows. The selling point is speed, model quality, API design, and a very large developer ecosystem. So the first question is not which model is better. The first question is, do you want a cloud-native AI control plane or a direct frontier AI platform?
Use Bedrock when AWS is already the center of gravity. Imagine a bank, healthcare company, insurance firm, or enterprise SaaS company where data already lives in S3, Aurora, DynamoDB, Redshift, OpenSearch, and private VPCs. The question from leadership is not just, can the model answer well? The question is, can we govern this like every other production workload? Bedrock fits that conversation. IAM permissions, CloudTrail events, CloudWatch metrics, VPC endpoints, AWS organizations, service control policies, regional controls, and one procurement channel are very attractive to platform teams. Bedrock also gives you model choice under one AWS service interface. If Anthropic is stronger for reasoning today and another model is cheaper tomorrow, your architecture can keep the AWS wrapper. For enterprise production, that wrapper can matter more than shaving a few milliseconds from a demo.
Use OpenAI when speed and product quality matter most. If you are building a new AI feature and want to go from blank file to working demo today, OpenAI is hard to beat. The APIs are direct, the docs are developer-friendly, the SDKs are simple, and the ecosystem is huge. You also tend to see new model capabilities, multimodal workflows, structured outputs, real-time audio, and assistant patterns show up very quickly. That matters for product teams. If you are building customer support automation, coding assistants, meeting tools, content workflows, data analysis copilots, or voice experiences, the polished API surface can save weeks. The trade-off is that you are adding another vendor relationship and another security review. For startups and product teams, that trade-off is often worth it because learning cycles are the real bottleneck.
Here is the real comparison. Security and governance usually lean Bedrock for AWS-heavy organizations because the controls are familiar. Developer experience often leans OpenAI because the platform is focused and extremely fast to build with. Model quality is not a permanent answer. It changes by task. One model may be better for coding, another for long context reasoning, another for summarization, another for tool calling, and another for cost-sensitive classification. Cost is also not just input and output token price. You need to include retries, caching, context size, evaluation, observability, engineering time, and the cost of compliance review. Latency is similar. A nearby region and streaming can beat a nominally faster model routed poorly. The serious way to decide is simple. Take 10 real tasks, your actual prompts, your privacy constraints, your expected traffic, and run a bake-off. Measure accuracy, latency, cost, failure modes, and developer effort. A lot of serious teams should not choose only one. A practical hybrid pattern looks like this. Build a thin model gateway inside your app. The application sends a normalized request to your gateway. The gateway routes to Bedrock or OpenAI based on workload, data sensitivity, cost target, latency target, and model performance. Regulated internal workflows can stay on Bedrock with AWS controls. Customer-facing experiments can start on OpenAI to move quickly. If the experiment becomes a core enterprise feature, you can reroute it later if governance demands it. The key is evaluation. Keep one prompt set, one scoring process, one logging format, and one safety review. That way, the decision is not emotional, it is measured. The danger is coupling your entire product to one vendor-specific abstraction before you know the long-term shape of the workload.
Here is my decision matrix. If you are an AWS enterprise team and the blocker is security approval, start with Bedrock. It will speak the language your platform team already understands. If you are a startup or product team and the blocker is speed, start with OpenAI. You will probably ship the first version faster. If the workload touches regulated internal data, start with Bedrock, or at least evaluate it seriously before you commit. If the workload is public content generation, research assistance, coding, voice, or multimodal product UX, OpenAI is often the cleaner starting point. If the application is strategic and will run for years, put both behind an internal gateway and let evaluations choose. The best default is not AWS or OpenAI. The best default is the option that removes your biggest bottleneck right now.
So, which should you actually use? Use Bedrock when your biggest risk is governance, data location, compliance, procurement, and AWS integration. Use OpenAI when your biggest risk is moving too slowly, building a weak user experience, or missing the newest model capabilities. And if the project matters, do the adult thing. Put an evaluation layer in place and test both with your real workload. AI platforms are moving fast. The winning architecture is the one that lets you change your mind without rebuilding the whole product. If this helped, subscribe for more practical cloud and AI architecture breakdowns. In the next video, we can build the model gateway pattern step by step.